Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a zodiac love reading for the sign of Taurus. And today we're going to be looking at, I'm just going to be using tarot, and then at the end we're going to get some channeled messages. And these readings have been super specific, so they're not going to resonate with everyone. And if it's not resonating and you feel called to, you can check your other placements, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. And today we're looking at you and whoever you're energetically connected to. Why do I feel like I'm repeating myself? Did I already say this? I don't know. And we're going to look at the past energy between you. We're going to look at your feelings for them, their feelings for you, their intentions, and future energy within this connection. And like I said, these readings have been super specific. So just a reminder, if it's not resonating, it's okay. No, I'm going to leave that there. So Taurus, let's get into it. So I want to use the Panda deck for you. The Panda deck is one of my favorite decks. We have the Five of Cups, so someone could be experiencing some sadness here. We also have the Devil in reverse, so Capricorn energy. There could be some regret about some unhealthy patterns, or there could be sadness about unhealthy patterns. But let's get into it. So Spirit, we're looking at Taurus. And just a reminder, you may resonate more with the other side, and that's okay. Energy is fluid, so if you're resonating more with this side, that's okay. But I set the intention that you're going to be on this side. And if you're cross-watching, you may resonate with this reading. Like if you're dealing with a Taurus and you're cross-watching, you may be resonating with the viewer's side, even though you're cross-watching. So let's get into it. We have the moon. So there could be some things hidden here. Pisces energy, maybe you resonate with divine feminine energy. With that Devil in reverse and the moon, there could be a need to do shadow work for someone here. We have the Lovers, Gemini energy. So I was just saying you could be a divine feminine. You could be dealing with a divine connection here with the Lovers. Very powerful, challenging. The Lovers card, like the Lovers energy is not, it's not an easy connection because it does involve growth and self-growth is what I'm hearing. And we have the Eight of Cups and the Seven of Cups and the Eight of Wands showing themselves. That is interesting. That's interesting. I just heard a message about some of you. There could have been shadows, unhealthy patterns, toxicity, addiction, that maybe you could have gotten clarity about that and decided to walk away. The other thing I was hearing is you could have had clarity about that and been avoiding making the decision to walk away, hoping things would get better. Eight of Wands wanted to come out that time. So Eight of Wands, it does speak of communication, but it also speaks of rapid change and rapid growth. So perhaps someone needed to walk away from this connection, whether it was you or your person. You could have been accepting less than you deserved here with that Eight of Cups, and maybe you walked away, causing rapid change and rapid growth. It also, like I said, speaks of incoming communication. So we'll have a look. We'll have a deeper look at what's going on here. So, Spirit, what do we need to know for Taurus? That they're awesome. We have the World. So it seems like some kind of cycle needed to come to an end here. The Five of Swords. So it feels like there was some cycles of self-sabotage here. You could have felt like this person, I'm getting that it's your person. You could have felt like your person was playing mind games with you, like they were self-sabotaging this connection. From what I was seeing in the shuffle, it came from shadows and like devil energy. And perhaps you needed to end some sort of pattern or cycle with the world. And that's kind of what I was getting at with the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. You could have been avoiding walking away. But sometimes the only way to break a pattern or cycle is to walk away. There could be emotional or physical distance between you and this person. It looks like there was some kind of, it's the end of a chapter, the World card. And like I said, Five of Swords does show some self-sabotage or some mind games. We also have the Four of Wands here, so you could have wanted to come into union with this person. Maybe at one point you shared a home with them. And the Five of Swords always reminds me of the, like, let's say someone grows up with trauma. They develop these traits, not the most healthiest traits, that they then kind of use to protect themselves, but it actually sabotages things and pushes people away. So yeah, I'm seeing something about a cycle here. And with the World card, I don't know if you had to repeat yourself to this person, but I keep wanting to repeat myself, which is something that I do anyway. I'm just going to get into it. So let's look at you, Taurus. Taurus, let's look at your energy. We have the Five of Wands, so there's clearly blockages here, conflict, inner conflict. We have Justice on the bottom. So you could be conflicted about this. You could be trying to stand in your truth right now. There could have been a lot of arguments between you and this person. Clearly there was some obstacles with the Five of Swords and the Five of Wands coming out. And you could be feeling conflicted if you did the right thing by walking away or by demanding justice here. This is Libra energy. This person could have wronged you in some way as well. And we have the Three of Swords in reverse. So I'll also say this. I've been getting comments of, doesn't that card mean this? And cards, tarot cards have lots of different meanings, whether they're in the upright or the reverse. And it also depends on the energy that's surrounding them. It also depends on a lot of tarot readers don't just read cards. They get downloads. So it also has to do with the energy that the reader is channeling. So just keep that in mind. But the Three of Swords in reverse, that points to healing, releasing resentment. So you could be having a hard time releasing resentment towards this person. Maybe this person blamed you unfairly. Maybe there was an imbalance in this relationship. Maybe they wronged you in some way with the Justice card. You know, you could be wanting an apology from this person because the Three of Swords also in reverse talks about an apology. So does Justice. But the thing that I'm seeing about the Three of Swords is the end of a painful experience. So I feel like with that Five of Wands, with the Devil in reverse, the Moon, Justice, Five of Wands. Did I already say Five of Wands? Five of Swords. Why am I repeating myself? You could have had to repeat yourself to this person. It feels like some kind of painful experience came to an end and possibly you stood in your truth. And you could be feeling conflicted about that. Like maybe you have some inner conflict if you did the right thing. But like I said, the thing that I'm hearing about this Three of Swords in reverse is the need for healing, because I feel like you've been through some kind of conflict where you were wronged and the end of a painful experience. And we had that World card. This is what I mean about how the cards connect. So the World card talks about the end of a chapter, completing a cycle. So it feels like whoever you are, maybe you just completed some sort of painful cycle. that you were in with this person. All right, let's look at your person. Yeah, we have judgment here. So it feels like you're doing a lot of self-evaluation. You could be going through an awakening. All right, you could have hit your breaking point with this connection. There could have been, you could have felt emotionally burnt out from this connection with the 10 of Wands. Let's see your person's energy. The person Taurus is connected to. So we have the 6 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. How interesting. So right now, your person seems to be going through some sort of breakthrough, some sort of epiphany. Crow outside confirmed it, Mr. Crow. I don't know why everything is a boy to me. Mr. Crow, anyway. Squirrel. Someone could have ADHD here. This person is going through a realization about you that I feel like you're their wish fulfillment, and that they want success with you. This person could also be watching you online, I'm hearing. The other thing I'm hearing is that this person could have had a bruised ego with the 6 of Wands and all that other energy I was seeing. The shadow of the 6 of Wands can be about a bruised ego. And I feel like this person is having a breakthrough, an epiphany about what's really important. It feels like they do want success with you. I just have to say, if you are seeing this person online, there's a possibility that they look very carefree. But that could be a facade, I'm hearing. We also have the 2 of Cups and the 7 of Swords in reverse. So the 7 of Swords in reverse shows that something is weighing heavily on this person's conscience about this connection. Something is weighing very heavily on them right now, possibly to do with some 7 of Swords behavior. And I gotta be honest, the 7 of Swords has been coming out a lot for me lately. So the 7 of Swords can be, you know, it can be someone running from you, someone sneaking away from you, ghosting you. It can be deception, deceit. It can be undesirable behavior, manipulation, projection. And this person is having some sort of breakthrough about their 7 of Swords behavior. We also see a peacock feather. April could be symbolic. I know that Taurus is April to May, but the peacock, there's something about April and the peacock. It also talks about a renewal. So the fact that it's in reverse, this person does have something, they're having some sort of breakthrough about their own 7 of Swords behavior. And you know, this person could have had a very sharp tongue. So they definitely could have hurt you, especially like mentally or with communication with the 7 of Swords. But there's something about healing here. And the 7 of Swords, I always say with the 7 of Swords, that can be someone who's running away from their own healing. And that's why we see this star here. So they could have been running away or defending the healing that they needed to do, but you know, it's in reverse with the Ace of Swords. So they're having a breakthrough moment about this, realizing what's important, realizing that you're their wish fulfillment. They could also be trying to keep a positive mindset. Let's look at past energy. That fell right on you, didn't it? Oh dear. We have 2 pages here. So you could have met when you were younger, or you could be dealing with a younger energy, but it feels like there was the potential for stability here. There was the potential for growth, But the Page of Wands kind of shows something that was short-lived. So there could have been a lot of flirtation, the possibility of something more meaningful. There was definitely the potential for it to grow into something long-term. But you could have been dealing with someone who, you know, wasn't giving to this connection. They also could have been a very flirty person. So they could have, with that Seven of Swords and the Page of Wands, they could have been very flirtatious with others. Maybe they were flirting with other people online. And we have the Four of Wands. So there was the potential of something to stabilize here. There was the potential of possibly living together, marriage, but it feels like there was a false start. The Page of Wands is the minor arcana version of the Fool. So it definitely feels like there was a false start here. And perhaps you were more, the fact that I'm seeing these energies, you could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That Four of Wands fell on you. So you could resonate with like 1111, counterpart journey. But the way these two cards fell out, this one was on this side, this one was on the left side. And I feel like you saw the potential for something here, but maybe they didn't, or maybe they were unreliable, or you could have both been immature in some way, needing to grow and evolve, especially with that Lover's energy. I do feel like there was love here. We have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. So there was a beginning, there was love, there was romantic feelings. But with the Two of Wands, it feels like it never progressed into something stable. The Two of Wands also talks about fear of leaving comfort zones. So there could have been a fear of leaving, someone could have had a fear of leaving their comfort zone in some way. The Two of Wands also talks about patterns, the patterns that, and we had that World card. So the Two of Wands does talk about patterns that need to be looked at and healed, patterns that keep you stuck from moving forward. So this could have been a connection that triggered unhealthy patterns with that Devil card in reverse, like codependency or toxic behaviors. I'm also noticing we have 1, 1, and then the Two Wands, 1, 1. All right, let me make sure this is straight. I think it was Pisces. I did their whole reading and didn't realize that half of the reading was cut off on the bottom, but whatever. So let's see how you're feeling about them. How are you feeling about them? We have the Six of Pentacles and Justice. So this is confirming what I was hearing. There was something that wasn't balanced here. So for how you're looking or feeling about this person, you do feel like they owe you some kind of accountability, some kind of apology, a truth. And to me, it feels like, I don't think you would be watching this reading if you felt like everything was great, everything was balanced, we had equal give and take. I don't think you'd be looking at it like that. I almost feel like someone was putting in more effort here than the other. And the shadow attributes of the Justice card do talk about an imbalance of energy. And you can see it here, like this panda is sitting in flowers. Look, the world here. So this person is like, I'm getting a weird download about that. I'll get back to that. In terms of like energy, this person is sitting here like maybe this person was greedy or just took your energy and then pushed you away. Like I said, there could have been an imbalance of energy. We have Libra energy here. But the other thing I'm hearing is that for some of you, it feels like you almost feel like this person needs to awaken because we have the Judgment card here. And I'm wondering for some of you where we have this world energy and one part is illuminated and the other is in darkness and kind of decay. I'm wondering if you are someone who's worked very hard on awakening, on self-evaluation, and that could have also been the imbalance here. And right before I started this reading, I came across a video about how when you are someone who has done the internal work and who has awakened and has done the self-evaluation, the Judgment card, and you're connecting with someone who hasn't, it's almost impossible to meet on the same level. The other person, it's almost like you come together before you awaken, and then as you raise and elevate and heal, it's like you don't align anymore energetically. And then this person is, they need to do the same thing if you're ever going to align again. I feel like you want equal give and take and reciprocity with this person. Let's get another one for how you're feeling about them. We have the Queen of Swords. Yes. So when I was talking about the Six of Pentacles and I said you could want equal give and take, I almost said maybe you put up boundaries. And I was looking at that Three of Swords card. And I was wondering if there's some sort of healing from a past wound that's blocking you, perhaps from childhood. And perhaps you could have put up boundaries with this person. You know, the Queen of Swords is like, I know my worth. I know my truth. It feels like you're looking at this logically with the Queen of Swords. And you could have your boundaries up. You could be protecting your energy right now. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So we have two queens here. So for some of you, there could have been someone else in this person's energy. But I feel like for how you, or maybe you're both feminines. This person could have an ex. This person could have an ex that was in the picture. That won't resonate for all of you. But it feels like right now you feel like you need to protect your energy because the Queen of Pentacles also talks about protecting energy. And you know, you could have shown up in a very nurturing, patient energy. You could also be looking at this logically, because I brought up that video, that this person can't give you what you want right now. You could have seen yourself committing to this person. This person definitely could be younger than you with the Queen and the Page energy. One more for how you feel about them. Seven of Cups. The Magician in reverse. This just got a little bit more complicated. So you could be having dreams about this person right now, but there is an energy like of confusion. This person could have ghosted you with the Seven of Cups. You could be dealing with someone who avoids things. The Magician in reverse, it just got more complicated because we have Gemini and Virgo energy. You could be feeling very confused about how this person treated you, or you could be feeling like they created a lot of confusion. You could also be feeling like this person made you feel like an option with the Seven of Cups. You could even be thinking about exploring other options. You know, you could be feeling like, I deserve reciprocity, I deserve stability, I know my worth. But the Magician in reverse does show manipulation. And I mentioned it with the Seven of Swords in reverse for their energy. So you could have felt like there was something confusing or manipulative about this person. We've also got the King of Cups, so it feels like you love this person. But with these two cards right here, I'm going to be honest. With these two cards right here, they're more negative cards, and technically there are no negative cards in tarot. They all serve a purpose. But with these two being negative, it changes the meaning of this. So we're going to look, I'm teaching you tarot. We're going to be looking at the shadow attributes of the King of Cups with the combination of cards here. Why am I teaching you tarot? Maybe you want to learn tarot. That was weird. That was really strange. And the King of Cups shadow does show someone who puts in very low effort, someone who you feel is emotionally manipulating you. Look at all these kings and queens coming out. Jeez. Interesting. All right, let's see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about you? And if you were dealing with someone who was the Magician in reverse and they caused a lot of confusion and that Seven of Swords energy, I think that it's understandable that you'd be confused. So we have the Devil in reverse and we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this person is feeling like they need to be more open and generous with you with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and that they need to release some unhealthy patterns or some toxic things or a karmic, whatever it is, addictions, whatever it is for you and your situation. I also feel like this person feels like you're letting them go, like you've released them energetically. And part of me wonders, if you're wondering if you've done the right thing, you could be in self-doubt right now. And I think you did do the right thing. Let's get more for how they feel about you. How is this person feeling about you? The Hermit, Hanged Panda. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. So they feel like you are glowing up. They feel like you are independent right now. Going through some self-improvement, knowing your worth, I have to say. We have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, and we have the Hanged Panda, which is Pisces energy. So for how they feel about you, they feel like you're holding back from them. They feel like you've withdrawn your energy, or they felt like they needed to withdraw theirs. There is a lot of, there's a change in perspective here. With the Ace of Swords, remember they're going through a breakthrough. So they are having new perspectives about this connection. And the Hermit, this person is reflecting. They're doing a lot of soul searching right now because of this connection. I feel like they're doing a lot of soul searching about you, gaining new perspectives, having an epiphany. But this is definitely like quiet energy. So I feel like you could both be being quiet and waiting. It's like this person is waiting. Remember that Eight of Wands, and they also have the Ace of Swords. So it feels like they're going through a breakthrough, but they're waiting with the Hanged Panda until they go through this reflection to come forward. Temperance, that's another energy of like wanting to balance and heal things before coming forward. Sagittarius energy. Let's get another one for how they're feeling about you. One more. How are they feeling about you? We've got the Seven of Wands. Boundaries. And on the bottom, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So they definitely could have been resisting the Four of Wands energy with you. This always reminds me of the Knight of Wands. And then you have the 7 wands here, and then you have the 4 wands here. So this person could have been resisting commitment, 10 of Pentacles on the bottom. This person does see long-term commitment with you. But 7 of Wands does talk about protecting the heart space and boundaries. So this person could definitely be feeling like there's boundaries in place, like they can't approach you. You may have some sort of barrier, energetic barrier up here with the 5 of Wands. And this person could have been defensive with you. Remember, I was talking about the 7 of Swords with the sharp tongue. So they could have been very defensive with you. Let's see their intentions. What are their intentions? We've got the 8 of Swords in reverse. What are their intentions? And Justice. And the Devil in reverse. This Devil in reverse will not go away. 8 of Wands. I felt like the 8 of Wands was going to come out there. So their intentions are to become more self-aware. And remember, the Hanged Panda talked about new perspectives. That is what the 8 of Swords talks about in reverse. It talks about new perspectives. So their intention here is to come towards you with truth, accountability, justice energy, to balance things, and to show you that they have a new perspective, to take control of this situation. And I feel like there's something to do with unhealthy patterns here, or addictions or something. And 8 of Wands is underneath that, so it feels like there's things this person may need to release or heal before they take that action. So we're going to look at the next 4 weeks. Trigger warning. Don't be triggered if it says no communication in the next 4 weeks or 8 weeks. If it's triggering you, feel free to click off, because I don't want to trigger you. But the next 4 weeks, show me the energy between these two in the next 4 weeks. We have the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So there is some sort of message, romantic message coming in the next 4 weeks. And we have the Ace of Wands, which shows inspired action. I feel too, the Knight of Cups is very intuitive. So it feels like this person is intuitively guided to take some sort of action towards you, to make some sort of move towards you. The Knight of Cups can be a romantic message. So this could very well be a romantic message that they send. I actually want to look at the Knight of Cups. I don't know why, but I'm feeling this energy of not quite trusting this. Coming in for negotiation. Flirtation, being vulnerable and is expressing love to someone. So it feels like in the next 4 weeks, this person comes in very vulnerable, expressing their feelings towards you. And the Knight of Cups also talks about the possibility of rekindling something. Let's get some more information. The next 4 weeks between these two. Page of Swords, there is some sort of message coming in where you're going to get more information, but there's some advice here for you too, which I was hearing while I was shuffling. Get more information before taking down your boundaries with this person. There's definitely the start of a conversation. We have Death, And we have the Hierophant. So there's some sort of spiritual transformation going on here in the next 4 weeks. And this feels like a rebirth to me. There's something that's ending. Remember the world, the end of a cycle, the end of a chapter, and then the beginning of a new one. So there is some sort of this person expressing themselves vulnerably, which leads to a rebirth. Possibly even, I'm more so hearing spiritual elevation. Spiritual ascension, I can say that word. Spiritual ascension. So what is your advice when this person comes in, other than get more information? Make sure they're not showing up in the Seven of Swords. What is your advice when this offer comes in? We do have the Two of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there is, for your advice, you will have a decision to make. You will have a decision to make. This Two of Swords has been sitting beside my desk, and it says, pay attention to the red flags. And that's kind of what I was getting with that Page of Swords. So get more information before you invest, and make sure there's been growth. I do believe there is a possibility for a new beginning here, but there's this energy with the Two of Swords in reverse that you need to pay attention to the red flags. If you're still seeing Seven of Swords behavior, it's like a message of do not cross, like do not let down your boundaries. If this person, and I have to be very honest with you, you know, if this person, it says pay attention to the red flags, stop, don't cross, decisions. So you'll have a decision to make here. And if this person is still showing this pay attention to red flags, it's a sign that they still need to go within and heal. Okay? So make sure there's been growth. And I think that for some of you, this person will come back and they'll have shown signs of growth and there won't be the red flags, but there could be some of you here, because I'm getting that message, that there could still be some red flags. There still could be some growth that happens. I was actually surprised to see this was the energy in the next 4 weeks. Let me see what my book says for this one. It also talks about a truth revealed. So, your advice, you have everything you need within you to make a decision. Your intuition will know the best route to take. Sometimes it can feel tough. Sometimes it can feel tough to trust our inner hunches, but this card indicates that the full picture will soon come to light. So trust your intuition. If this person messages you and you are feeling all kinds of anxiety and their communication makes you feel uncomfortable and confused, that's your body's way of telling you something's not right. If you get their message and they're taking accountability and you feel emotionally regulated, not anxious, that's a sign that there's been growth. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's get you some channeled messages from this person. Channeled messages from this person. What do they want to say? Okay, both of you wanted to come out. Ego. I let my pride get in the way of our connection. I mentioned bruised ego, and to me that devil card has a lot to do with ego. Unfinished business. So it's almost like with that world card, there's like lack of closure here, perhaps. Interesting. I don't know. This person could have took you for granted, I'm hearing. We still have things left to resolve and discuss. Conversation. I want to call. Took you for granted. One of the meanings of the world does talk about taking partner for granted. Anyway, neglected. I failed to give you what you need. So this person could have neglected this connection. Understanding. Hanged Man. 8 of Swords in reverse. New perspective. I see your side of the story. Commitment. I want you to be a part of my future. The Hierophant, right? 10 of Pentacles. We have dishonesty. I wish I could right my wrongs. So this person knows they've made some mistakes here. Dishonesty. By lying, I ripped us apart. And shadow side, you made me realize my flaws. So Taurus, I'm going to leave it here. As always, I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.